Hi. So I thought that tonight was going to have lots of kind of Robert Frost type stories with people telling stories of detours that took them on the path less traveled and that it worked out for the best. And this is not one of those stories, but apparently no one else really had any other stories. So I was living in Indonesia, and Indonesia, for those of you who don't know, is a country. And it is it's the 4th largest country in the world, and my dearest husband had left. We lived together there for 6 months. He took off for Philadelphia to start grad school, and I was alone. Not a good way to start the first year of marriage, just to recommend for all of you folks, but it worked out. He's right there. And my parents, being the adventurous souls that they are, decided to come and visit me in Indonesia. And the thing with parents, my parents are big adventurers, but the thing with parents coming to visit you when you live in a poor country, and it's now we say poor country, we don't say developing or south or anything, we say poor now, just to let everyone know that's the right thing to say. So when your parents come to visit you when you're living and working in a poor country, a lot of what you're trying to do is convince them that it's safe and that you're okay and that you're going to come home just fine. Like, that's the goal of the trip, right? And my parents come to visit, and we are living in a city called Medan, which is on the island of Sumatra, which is way on the western part of the country. And we decided to go up to Batak country. And the reason we go up to Batak country is because the vast majority of Indonesians are Muslim, and so finding pork and beer is really hard. And when you live there for a while, you miss pork and beer. So we decided to go up to the Batak wild, crazy Christian territory so we can drink beer and have some pork. And we are on this, so you go up this mountain, you reach this crater lake, Lake Toba, beautiful lake. You take a ferry across, you're on an island. So you're on an island, in a lake, on a mountain, on an island, in the middle of the Pacific, in a country that no one's ever heard of. And you're, we are at this beautiful little kind of resort, just touristy enough. Our little cabin is shaped like a traditional Batak house. And we decided there's not a lot to do on this island, so we go for, it's called Samosir, we go for a little motorbike tour. And for anyone who has lived abroad or traveled or done adventure travel, as we call it, which is kind of just life for the rest of the world, but we decided to rent motorbikes, which means you contact the local village teenagers and you ask them if you can give them money. And then we get helmets, which is awesome. So because I'm with my parents and I'm trying to tell them that it's safe. So we have helmets, but my mom's helmet is tied with like a ribbon under her chin. There's like no strap. So anyway, we go on this beautiful, beautiful ride across, sort of around the circle of the island, and we get to the other side. And on this ride, my mom is on the back of my dad's motorbike, and she's like, all the little kids are running up because they're like, Westerners, Westerners, and so they're all waving along the path, and my mom is like waving to people, and I start calling her the mayor of Tuk Tuk. It's just like digging it and just loving it. So we get to the other side, my dad and I look at the map, and we're like, well, we could turn around and go back for the other hour-and-a-half ride back, but why not take a detour and go all the way around the island? Right, so this is where it gets a little dark. So the road doesn't go around the island, but it takes a while. It takes us like 3 hours to figure out it's not going around the island. It's going up over the mountains, across the top of the island. And it's like, we didn't even start the trip until like 2 o'clock. And the sun sets every day in this part of Indonesia at 6 o'clock. So we're like riding the crest of the mountain. I swear to God, it starts thunder and lightning. In the dark, in the middle of nowhere, we have no idea. The road is getting worse and worse. My mom falls off the bike 3 times. Like, it's horrible. She cuts up her whole arm. She's like, forget it! I'm walking! So she starts walking back to the village of Tuk Tuk, which is like desperate to get to this village. So we finally get back. My mom, being superwoman, has like gauze and scissors and like everything to fix herself up. So everything works out okay. But the lesson that I learned is that when you are on an island, in a lake, on top of a mountain, on top of an island, in the middle of a country that no one has ever heard of, fuck you, Frost, for taking the road more traveled.